Hey, this is David Day Trains, and this is the video where I describe how I paint my bridges. I'm having to redo the first part. I had all kinds of technical difficulties with it, and plus I was a little too long-winded. So let's get started. So hang on. Okay, so this is a bridge like you would get it. What I did was I wanted this kind of a bluish white, or a white with a slight blue tint. Couldn't really find anything exactly like I wanted, but I wound up spray painting the bridge with this ultra matte white. It's kind of a grayish, has a slight blue tint. So I sprayed this as an undercoat. Now I let this dry for 2 days because basically my experience is if you don't let it cure, that when you put the acrylic paint on top of it, it doesn't want to stick. Then I went through, and on the railing I used these two. These, you can't get these anymore. This is the Testors, and hopefully you can read that. This is the Rail Brown, and this is the Rust Oxide. The tips were kind of dried out. It took me forever to get these to work. I think Woodland Scenics makes something like this now. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to have to look that up and see to get that, because these are apparently no good anymore. But I did get the rails painted, and then the ties I did in this red brown from Tamiya. Hopefully you can see that. There's the number on it. That looked really good. And so that's basically how the basic coating of this spray paint on it. I'm sorry, I had it done originally, but had so many technical difficulties with it. Plus, I was too long-winded also. So that's how I did the first part of it. Let me edit this in, and then we can see the rest of it. So hang on. So what I normally do, or what I always do, is I use these little bitty sponges. I buy them at Hobby Lobby. They're not very expensive. You can use, if you've got sponges that your wife has or your mother has that are like sponges and she uses for cleaning, you can use those too. These were just dirt cheap, and so I bought those. But I use 3 paints. I use this this Heritage Brick. This is Hobby Lobby. These are cheap paints. And then I use the burnt orange. And then I use this spiced pumpkin. And basically what I do is I'll start on the inside. Basically what I do is I start from dark and go light. And you see here I kind of use this as my palette, but I'm going to try to use this paper. And there's no really magic to this. It's all up to what you think is the best. And I don't put a lot of paint out, and like I said, I'll just tear off a piece like so, and I kind of rub most of it off, and I go ahead and do this top part, but basically just dab it on. And if it looks a little too much, I mean, that's okay. You can go back and you'll put some lighter colors on it. And this dark piece, I want to get the, I don't know if you can see it. Here again, this is probably the worst filming, but you've got these little areas with bolts and stuff, and I try to hit those harder than the rest. So, okay, that's it. And I guess what I'll do, I'll just do this top section first, and that'll kind of give you an idea. But I could probably use a big, use the one sponge. Here again, I'm going to get as much off as I can. And then normally I would probably let this dry a little bit. Then I use the spiced pumpkin. And I'm definitely no artist. I just, it's what I see and kind of look at other people that do other types of painting and see what they do. But I just basically go from dark to light. Let's see how this goes here without letting it dry. So now there's a little bit difference. They're not going to rust the same. So this one has got a little bit more red, so I might do some more red. But this also has, I use some of these artist pastels, and I'll shave those down and basically put this powder on it, which kind of helps blends it. Which I'll show that later. But I'm going to let this part dry right here before we do any more. And basically, like I said, what I'll do is I'll take my tweezers and get down in here, and it just takes some time rather to do that, because especially when you're going in here, I like to make sure that they dry. I don't want to get anything on the track, which I clean the track again anyway, but it's just a huge pain to do that. But like I said, if you don't like it, this needs to be a little bit more red, so I'll probably put some more red on it here. But that's basically what I do. So I'm going to turn this camera off right now, let this dry, and I'll go ahead and finish this, and then we'll come back to the next step. So what I do next is, again, I take some of these pastels that I got. It's a set. I've seen a lot of people get these. Again, I got Hobby Lobby. I know a lot of people don't like Hobby Lobby, but it's the only thing around here that has any type of craft supplies. And basically what I do is just shave this off. And again, I'm sorry, I don't really have a good overhead camera system, and I don't know if I can do it, but basically I'm just shaving this off into a little small cup. And of course it takes quite a bit. I'm sure other weathering powders, I'm not sure what they've got, but basically I'm going to just shave quite a bit of this off and try to get it the color I want. Basically I'll use this red rust color, and then a little bit of a muted brown to kind of, so it doesn't, the red doesn't overwhelm it. And then to kind of give it a little bit more darker hue, there's this black. And there's no science to this, there's no mixture, it's just something that I do till I get the color I want. And as far as old brush that my mother-in-law had, when she was living, she did a lot of ceramics and stuff. And basically what I do is I just dip my brush in here and just kind of just pat that on, just off. I don't put any liquid or anything in it. I kind of try to get everything off in there. But what it does, it just kind of mutes it, so to speak, in my opinion. I don't really wet it, and I don't know if you can really see it that well on here. It does cling to the surface. It's probably because I'm pushing too hard. But I think that's going to do it. Now, the one thing that I'll do now is, move all this out of the way, is I'll take this outside and I will spray a dull coat on it to more or less seal it. And I'll let that sit overnight, and then should be ready to go. All right, so this is what she looks like after sitting overnight, sprayed with a dull coat. Pretty well satisfied with it. Anyway, this is how I would do this bridge with this paint scheme. If it was a different color, I might do some things different. I've got several bridges. I think when I'm finally complete, I've got like 5 more bridge spans to do, so I'm going to do the others a little bit different method. When I do those, I'll show you how to do those also, and maybe improve my videoing when I do this. So anyway, I really appreciate you watching. I hope I gave you some tips, or somebody can learn something maybe. But I always appreciate you watching. And if you want to follow along on my little N-Scale journey, please hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell for future notifications when I do put a video out. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. As always, I hope you have a great week. Happy